There we go. Well, how's everyone doing? I'm out here for my buddy's wedding in Oregon. We'll be reading a chapter of Mossflower. Today is Friday, the 7th. It is October and it is 2022. I'll show you the picture on the book. I don't have my gloves today. So we'll just read one chapter. A crescent moon hung over the warm spring night, casting its cloak over the light early foliage of Mossflower woods. Indifferent to the woodland floor, carpeted with dark green grass, dotted with blueberry and narcissus, Fortuna stopped in her tracks and held up a paw for silence. Immediately she bumped into Borg and Scrat, two weasels who did not stop fast enough. Each ferrets and weasels in their turn blundered sleepily into each other. Fortuna bared her teeth impatiently. "Stand still, can't you? I think I hear something." The patrol held its collective breath and listened intently. Scrat dropped his shield with a clang. They all jumped with fright. Fortuna cursed at the helpless weasel, but he was tired and weary of listening to pointless orders. What's the difference, Fox? We're right on fool's errand in this jungle, I tell ya. Trapping around all day in a full kit of armor without anything except to eat and not a sound or sight of a living thing except the sign of our own paw tracks that we keep coming across. What are we supposed to do out here? Anyhow, that's what I'd like to know. There were murmurs of agreement. Fortuna cut in quickly to stem any ideas of mutiny. All of you get the soil out of your ears and listening to me. Can you imagine what would happen if we marched back to Quarter empty-handed, empty-pawed? Well, can you? By the claw, it doesn't bear thinking about. Imagine the queen. Do you think she'd say, "Oh, you poor creatures, didn't find any of those naughty woodlanders? Well, never mind, come on in and take off your armor, sit by the fire and have a nice bite to eat"? One particularly stupid ferret grinned hopefully. "Oh, that would be nice." Fortuna was about to give him something painful to think about when she heard the noise once more. Shh! There it is! Again! Coming right towards us. This is our chance to carry out the mission properly. I want you all out of sight. You lot, get behind the trees. You others, hide in the bushes. When I give you the signal, come out whacking. Use your spear handles, shields, branches, anything. I want them taken alive. Here they come. Hide quickly. As the soldiers dropped out of sight, a cloud obscured the moonlight. At the moment, a band of dark shapes came into view. The vixen ran out shouting, "Now up and at 'em, troops!" Spurred by Fortuna, the soldiers dashed from the hiding. They charged with a roar in the midst of the intruders, dealing heavy blows, kicking, biting, scratching, and pounding away at the enemy. The air was rent with blows, screams, thuds, and yells of pain. Exuding in the chaos of the ambush, Fortuna seized the nearest creature and thrashed it mercilessly with her staff. Thwack, bang, crack. Yow, ow, mercy, help! It was only when she kicked out savagely and splintered the wooden leg that the vixen realized she was close to slaying Ashleg. "Stop! Halt! Pack it in, you fools! We're fighting our own! Fortuna yelled at the top of her lungs. When the clouds moved, moonlight illuminated a sorry scene. The soldiers of Koiter sat about on the grass, moaning pitifully. Broken and fractured limbs, collective bumps, bruises, sprains, missing teeth, black eyes, and contusions, and some very nasty scratches were much in evidence. Ashley sat on the ground, nursing his wrecked wooden leg. You booby, you knothead, you nincompoop of a fox, you. Sorry, Ashleg, but how were you to know? Why didn't that you signal that you were coming? Signal? You bushhead block, I'll give you the signal. The Martin flung his wooden leg, catching Fortuna square in the tip of her nose. Youch, you twisted little monster. There was no call for that. We thought you were woodlanders. It was a genuine mistake. Ashland Leg rubbed his swollen ear. Woodlanders? Don't talk to me, Pa, about that lot. We patrolled this forest until our paws are sore. Not a solitary mouse, not so much as hair of a squirrel's tail on the damp of an otter's back. The vixen slumped down glumly beside him. Same here. Where do you suppose they vanished to? Search me. Tasmania will skin us alive when we get back. Scrat threw down his spear and spat at them. You're right. And, well, maybe we have more luck when it gets light. We may as well camp here. At least we can search around for roots and berries. Fortuna and Ashley looked at each other. Roots and berries? Yuck! Chib the robin circled the crenellations of Koiter in the dawnlight. There was not a lot of interest in the little spy. The garrison was asleep. He noted each window and what was inside: snoring ferrets, slumbering weasels, dozy stouts, even Tasmania in her upper chamber stretched out in the splendor upon a heap of furs. The wildcat queen was dreaming troubled dreams of water. She muttered to herself, pushing the air as if it were enveloping her. Chib flew down and lighted on the parade ground near the wall. Keeping a watch for the eagle, he set about breakfast. From a small bag slung around his neck, he selected candy chestnut, not one of the big smooth ones, but a small wrinkled nut that had a lot of sugar in the cracks. Chib liked them best that way. Chib noted that he was near something which looked like a drain outlet, a hole cut into the wall at floor level. He hopped inside, peering about curiously. It went slanting downwards as far as he could see. Nibbling the nut daintily, the fat robin explored the tunnel. It was quite dry under claw. Chib cocked his head to one side, listening to the sounds of ragged breathing from further down the tunnel. Ahem, hem. Must be somebody still asleep. Working his way farther down, he found his progress arrested to 3 vertical iron bars into the tunnel. There was no drain. It was an upper window of a cell. Chib edged up the bars and peered down. He was looking into the burning eyes of an emancipated wildcat seated below upon the damp steps. Humph, excuse me. Genevieve shaded his eyes, peering upward at his strange visitor. Please don't fly away. I won't harm you. My name is Genevieve. The robin cocked his head airily on one side. Ahem, humph, you excuse me saying so, but you don't appear to be in a position to harm me. Ahem. Must go now. I'll drop by and see you another time. Chib beat a hastily retreat back up the tunnel. The wildcat with strange eyes had quite unsettled him. At the edge of the tunnel, the robin ate the last of his nut, then flew off back to Brock Hall to report his findings. The day promised to be fine and sunny. Chib flew high, knowing the sun in the east would shine in the eyes of predators looking west. He had not thought the slightest interest in the woodland floor below. Had he flown lower, he would have noticed Ferdy and Coggs lying in a patch of open seaward, fast asleep, their paws about each other, blissfully unaware that a short distance away Cludd was making an early start at the head of his patrol. Bella was up about early that morning. Being a light sleeper, she received Chib's information about Genevieve being imprisoned. This had already been known to the quorum, Martin and Knopf, yet it gave Bella a pause for thought. Coiter is definitely ruled totally by the cruel Tasmania. Martin joined her for a morning stroll in the woodland before breakfast. The badger had matters to discuss with the warrior mouse. War's coming to Mossflower, Martin. I can feel it. Now that we are at Brock Hall, the defenseless ones are safer, but I listened to the voices of at the quorum meetings. The squirrels and otters are not satisfied with merely resisting Coiter's rule. They want to change it. Martin felt the broken sword hanging about his neck. Maybe that is no bad thing, Bella. Mossflower rightfully belongs to the woodlanders. I'll do all I can to help my friends live without fear. I know you will, little warrior, but we're not strong enough. We have few who are trained in the art of war. If Bor the fighter, my father, were still ruling, there would be no question he would fight and lead us to certain victory. Martin noted the sad, far away look in the badger's eyes. He must have been a mighty warrior. Does he still live? Bella shrugged. Who knows? He followed his father, old Lord Brocktree, to go off questing. That was before Verduga and his army arrived in Mossflower. My mate Barkstripe was slain in the first battle against Coiter, and my son Sunflash lost to me forever. Barkstripe was more farmer than warrior. Had it been Bor the fighter that faced Coiter, we would have won. I'm certain of it. Martin turned his steps back to Brock Hall. Goody Stickle was standing in the doorway, rubbing her paws together anxiously. As they approached, Bella spoke to Martin in a whisper. Tell nobody of our conversation. I must talk to you further about certain important matters, maybe later. Martin nodded. I look forward to it, Bella. You have aroused my curiosity. Hey, Goody, why are you looking so worried? Goody fussed with her apron. Morning, Miss Bella. Morning, Martin. You seen the two of those little ogs of mine in the woods? Ferdy and Coggs? Bella shook her head. No. Goody, I'm afraid we haven't. Is something wrong? The hedgehog gnawed her lips. Well, they ain't slept in their beds last night. Aside from that, there's 2 oat falls and a good wedge of cheese and some of my best blackberry cordial missing from the larder. Martin could not help smiling at the thought of 2 little would-be warriors. All that for breakfast? They'll go bango one of these days. I wouldn't worry too much, Miss Stickle. Knowing those rascals, they'll be back by lunchtime for more food. Ben Stickle emerged into the sunlight. Aye, Martin, right, my dear. Don't go bothering your old head. Ferdy and Coggs is like a new button mushrooms. They always turn up at a good meal. Ben sat against a tree, chuckling and filling his pipe. Knopf and Columbine came out to join them. The mouse thief patted his stomach. Hurry up, mates. There'll be no bread left soon. Hey, Goody, I hear that Ferdy and Coggs are missing. We'll help you look for them, don't worry. They'll probably somewhere playing soldiers. Goody nodded her apron anxiously. Thank you, Knopf. I do hope you come to no harm. Ben, get up now and help Knopf in Columbine. I won't be happy until I see their unlucky little snouts again. Ben stood up and stretched. So be it, Goody. Come on, you two. Bella reassured her. Now, don't start getting upset, Goody. I'll send out all the woodlanders looking. They'll find them. Martin and I will stop here at Brock Hall in case they come back while everyone's out searching. Goody smiled gratefully, although she was close to tears. Thank you kindly, Miss Bella. I'll go and start cooking the lunch. Shortly thereafter, Bella addressed a large party of willing helpers. Listen now, friends. Ferdy and Coggs must be found before nightfall. Split up into small groups. Search everywhere and pay attention to small dens and possible hiding places. They may be lying asleep somewhere. Above all, be careful. There may be coiter vermin abroad in Mossflower. Don't shoot too loud to make unnecessary noise. Report back to me or Martin. Off you go now. Good luck. The woodlanders disappeared, eager to begin. Each creature searched in the best way it knew. Squirrels swung off treetops where they could scan the ground. Otters made their way to the water to scur the banks and creeks. Mice and hedgehogs plowed into the undergrowth. Moles trundled through last autumn's deep loam. The search was on. The blackbird in a sycamore raised its amber beak in a hymn of joy to the sun. Ashenleg blundered into wakefulness, shivering from the damp. He hopped into the sunlight, leaning against a tree. Scrat joined him, but not before he aimed a sly kick at the sleeping Fortuna. Oi! Are you gonna lie there all day, lazy bones? The weasel drew his paw stiffly back from the vixen's snapping jaws. Far more used to sleeping in the open than the coiter soldiers, she had dug herself a small soft loam in the forest floor. Mind who you call lazy bones, fathead. I've been lying awake here for the past 2 hours listening to you snore like an ailing toad. Ashleg closed his eyes and let the warmth of the sun seep through his damp cloak. With a sigh of resignation, he remembered the quandary they faced. Can't you two stop squabbling long enough to give a thought to the mess we're in? We've beat each other up, slept through the whole night without posting a single sentry, and now we're going to face Tasmania sometime today. Look, if we must argue, at least let's argue about something useful. What will be done about this little fiasco? Fortuna shook those loam from her cheeks, showering them. Well, there were 3 patrols sent out in search of this forest. Where have Clud and his log got to? As if to answer the vixen's questions, Clud came marching through the undergrowth at the head of his column. Scrat was first to notice him. Oi, Clud, over here! What Harold's teeth did you get to? We haven't seen you since you left the fortress. The weasel captain struck a paw in his belt and leaned upon his spear, smirking knowingly. Huh, we've been doing your job, don't worry. What happened to you? Did a pile of trees fall on you? It's nothing really, a little mistake. Could have happened to any beast. Ashenleg tried to sound casual. Let me tell you though, we haven't seen hide nor tail hair of a living creature in this rotten maze of trees. We're rightly in for it when the Queen sees us. Clud smiled confidently. Speak for yourself, Ashenleg. We won't be returning empty pod. Oh no, not us. Hello, Penguin Superhero. I'm in Oregon today. Why? What do you mean? Fortuna interrupted. Eagerly, who have you captured? Where? Clud sneered at the fox. Oh, hello, Vixen. You look as if you've been enjoying yourself, by the way. What happened to old wooden legs Ashy? The marten was using a forked branch as a crutch as he stamped it down bad-temperedly. Listen, Weasel, will you stop waffling around and tell us what you got instead of standing there looking pleased with yourself? Clud beckoned with his spear. Right, show 'em the lads. The ranks of patrols parted, revealing two small hedgehogs. They were gagged and trussed upside down, slung upon poles carried by 4 soldiers. Ferdy and Coggs were truly captured. We'll stop there today. I am going hiking somewhere today. I went to Tuolama. What was it called? We were calling it Tamala Valley. And yep, this is that. Streaming from the hotel room. My buddy's supposed to be here, but he miscalculated his map because he doesn't use a phone. He's like, I gotta use a map because I'm old-fashioned. And so he's still driving. Whenever he gets here, he'll be my wheels. But the bride and groom are driving me around today. They got a little baby. She's adorable. I had a double breakfast today. It was wonderful. They have continental breakfast here, and it is delicious. They had sausage, eggs, waffles, cereal, hard-boiled eggs. All around goodness. Penguin Superhero, tomorrow you're streaming the London Fair, was it? I don't want to say it wrong. But I'll tune in for yours. I'm excited to see some of London. Oh my goodness, that would be so cool to watch. No pressure if life happens. But I'll tune in. I will sing you a song. And then I'm going to go away. I'm going to go for a hike. We have to stay standing up when we sing this song. And so I'm just going to stand at attention for this. I'm going to angle the phone up just a little bit. That looks good. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land, and the sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Our flags unfurled to heaven every breeze, from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where you could take a gun. In the snow of far-off northern lands and in sunny tropic scenes, you will find us always on the job, the United States Marines. Here's health to you and to our corps, which we are proud to serve. In many a strife we fought for life and never lost our nerve. If the Army and the Navy ever looked on heaven's scenes, they will find the streets are guarded by United States Marines. Semper Fi. Hoorah. Thank you for the hearts. I think I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. Claps. Thank you for the emotes. I love the emotes. They're so cool to see, especially the animated ones. Words are getting away from me. Maybe you too. Hope to see you tomorrow, and anyone else who's tuning in. Thank you for stopping by and chatting. It means a lot. And I will give you guys my view. And then I'll call it. There's just a bush. Disappointing view. I'm sorry. Goodbye, everyone. Ta-ta for now.